Hello，你好，欢迎回来，Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday with Johnny Tiger on July 7th, 2021. Listen, if you grew up in the country, then this sound is not something alien to you. But if you grow up in the city, then this is something that, well, back then you would only hear it on TV or in audiobooks. Nowadays, this sound is very popular on various sleep app, various relaxation app, meditation app. This is the sound of cricket singing in the summer night. And this is exactly why today I have the screen blanked out, because I figure it would be a totally weird contrast if I have summer cricket singing in the background, and yet you're looking out my window and you're seeing it still daytime and it's nice and bright out there. I feel that that might spoil the mood for you all. So I decided to keep the screen blank so we can all enjoy this very calming noise. Perhaps the first ever aid to cure insomnia in the history of Chinese people. But that's me getting ahead of myself. In Mandarin, cricket is called xi shuai. Xi shuai, Xi Shuai, xi shuai. Uh, but most people know it by its little lesser scholarly name, the lesser educated name of Chicher. Chicher. The Checher. Chicher. Why do Chinese people call this Chicher when it already has a, a, a professional biological name of Xi Shuai? Well, because in the old days, a lot of people were not very educated in China, and people named a lot of these insects by the sound they make. And when you listen to a cricket, it's going chip, 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 chip. So Chinese people call it chicher. Cricket has been a staple Chinese household for thousands of years. Although in the Western society, it seems like the first when people started to pay more attention to cricket was after the Disney animated Mulan movie, where we saw a cricket being represented in the movie. But in Chinese history, cricket has been one of the most popular pets for a long time. And about 500 years ago, for thousands of years before that, cricket was one of the favorite pets, one of the most common pets for royalties and noble people, people with royal bloodline, uh, all the way from the emperor to prince and princesses, queens, and various dukes and counts and barons and ministers. Everyone in the royal court were into keeping cricket as pets. How did it all start? Well, the legend has it when cricket first became really, really popular as a pet was from the first emperor of the Tang dynasty. We mentioned Tang Taizong last episode when we talked about horses, when we talked about the six steeds of China. Uh, those were the six horses ridden by the first emperor of the Tang dynasty. Now, the first emperor, uh, he was plagued with insomnia, and most likely, also had a serious case of tinnitus. I mean, when you figure that the guy was on horseback all the time and fighting wars and listening to millions of people screaming and shouting and armor clanging and weapons banging together and the hoofs of horses and the drums and all that stuff. Yeah, it's not surprising that he might have issues with tinnitus. So finally, it got so bad that his lack of sleep was impacting his ability to rule the nation. So one of the court's physicians brought him uh, a few crickets and said, "My lord, I suggest you keep these crickets in your bedroom and see if they'll help you sleep with the sound they make." At first, Tang Taizong, the emperor, was very skeptical. What the heck? I already have problems sleeping when it's totally quiet. You mean to make more noise so I can even have a harder time sleeping? But because he trusted his people and because he was really desperate, he was not getting enough sleep, and his body was not holding up very well under the lack of sleep. Sleep is very important, by the way. We talked about that in Fitness Friday before, but let me just quickly mention that if you want to build muscles, if you want to be a good athlete or martial artist or whatever, please make sure that you get your 8 hours sleep every day, and they are quality sleep. Quality sleep means that you dream, you have a deep sleep where your body can enter into the healing mode. Back to our story. Teng Teng Zhang listened to his physician. He kept these cricket in various jars in his bedchamber, and surprising himself, he started to sleep like a baby, listening to the soothing rhythmic sound of the cricket every night. Now, to a lot of us today, this is not surprising. This is very obvious because more and more people today find that they have problems sleeping in total silence. Because when you sleep in total silence, one thing is your hearing become extremely sensitive. So any little bit of clicking and banging or scraping will wake you up. So if you give your brain something to focus on, like white noise, a constant soft background noise like cricket or wind or ocean, then you will desensitize your hearing. So you're not going to get waken up just because someone drove past your house outside on the street, or a dog start barking 2 blocks away. So this made Teng Taizhang very, very happy that he can finally sleep and get his rest, and so he rewarded the physician very handsomely with a lot of gold and silver. And once people started hearing about this, then everyone suddenly wanted to bring the emperor more cricket. It became a thing that everyone went out into the field hunting for the cricket that could make the loudest noise, the cricket that could sing the longest, and the cricket that would look to have the best coloration. People went out there and capturing cricket left, right, and center, and thousands and thousands of cricket were sent into the royal palace. And the emperor obviously only could deal with so many cricket at one time because you have to feed them, you have to have a place to keep them. By the way, when you have cricket, you can't keep them in the same jar. We'll talk about that more in a little while, but when you have cricket, you have to keep them separate. One cricket in one jar. So eventually, there's so many cricket coming in from the civilians for the emperor, and the emperor started giving them away. The emperor started giving them to his queens, to his concubines, to his children, and his most trusted advisors. And here's a couple of jars of cricket. Take them home and enjoy a good night's sleep. And because these were given by the emperor, people who received these cricket treated them like they were royal guests, because they were. Like if the emperor gave you something, you better take good care of it because if you neglect it, if you break something the emperor gave you, or if someone were to let the emperor know that you were disrespectful to something that he given you, that can be death penalty back then. It's like disrespecting the emperor. And if you disrespect the emperor, you're just one step away from treason. That's a chain of logic there. So these people took these cricket home and started to treat them like they were household gods. And gradually, this became a fashion among the gentry. And then later, it got passed down to civilians. And more civilians started to keep cricket. Even nowadays, there are so many people in China and Taiwan that will keep cricket at home so they can enjoy this very peaceful, soothing noise at night that help them sleep. However, not everyone who keep cricket as pets keep them for the sound they make. Generally speaking, when you keep cricket for pets, there's two purposes. One, you're keeping it for the sound it makes. Second, you're keeping it for gambling purpose, aka to fight in cricket fights. Chinese people call cricket dou chong. That's another nickname for cricket. Dou, D-O, means fight, fighter. Chong, C-H-O-N-G, means bug. They're called fighter bug, and there's a reason for that. And this is exactly why I said if you have a cricket, or if you have more than one cricket, you have to keep them separate, otherwise they will kill each other. Cricket is as bad as rooster. And you put if two cricket, especially male ones, two male cricket meet each other, no matter where, when, who's bigger, who's smaller, if they were best friend, if they were related, doesn't matter. Two male cricket get together, one will kill the other one. They will fight to the death. So this allowed a very rather cruel, uh, but very popular sport called cricket fights. So which people everywhere will bring their most prized cricket to the arena, and the people will put two cricket together, and then people can bet on which cricket will win the fight, and which cricket can win the most fight, and stuff like that. And sometimes the wagers are so big at these events that there have been tens of millions of dollars won and lost for cricket fights. And I guess because there are bugs, so people generally don't think it's as cruel as dogfight or cockfight because bugs, not a lot of blood, not a lot of guts spilling out. You know, one bug killing another bug, and people generally feel that they have less of a emotional connection to it. So no one ever actually outlaw cricket fights uh, for because of animal cruelty or anything like that. Historically speaking, there was a legendary cricket uh, somewhere from the Song dynasty that was said to be such a champion cricket gladiator that it was able to defeat hundreds of other cricket without suffering a single injury. In the end, this cricket got given to the emperor at the time, and the emperor got so sick and tired of seeing this cricket win fights that he actually tried to find ways to make this cricket lose. That's how badass that cricket was. That the emperor got tired of seeing him win. He's like, I would like to see what he looked like when he get defeated. So during one of the cricket fights, the emperor actually put a rooster in the cage to battle this cricket. I mean, this is ridiculous, okay? Like, when you really think about it, a rooster is like, oh, I don't know, 200 or 300 times bigger than a cricket, and roosters eat cricket. So the emperor must really wanted his prized cricket dead. Uh, that's the kind of psychotic thing that happen in the royal court sometimes. If you lose too often, the emperor want to kill you. If you win too often, the emperor also want to kill you. It's really crazy. So anyway, the legend has it that the emperor put a rooster in a cage to fight this cricket. The cricket ended up defeating the rooster. That's how scary this cricket was. It was able to defeat the rooster by hopping onto the rooster's head when the rooster tried to eat it. And while after it got onto the rooster's head, it bit into the rooster's eyes and blinding the rooster and defeating the rooster that way. Whether that story was true or not, no one really know for sure. But that got to be like the most badass cricket gladiator of the entire Chinese history. The cricket that defeated a rooster. Chinese poets have written a lot of books and poems about cricket and the upkeep of cricket, and there are a lot of guides and manuals, some of them thousands of years old, talking about how to tell when you go to catch your cricket, how to tell if the cricket you caught is of high quality or not by the color of their carapace, by the shape of their legs, and by the color of their eyes, and by the size of their back leg. And there's a lot of details that people who are really into this thing have have to know, so they know how to get the best cricket possible. Just like the episode where I talked about chicken and egg, where Chinese people have attributed 5 virtues to the rooster, Chinese people have also attributed 5 virtues to the cricket. The cricket embodies 5 virtues, which are: first, the cricket is the virtue of uh, timeliness. Why is the cricket a virtue of timeliness? Because it doesn't matter what the weather's like. It doesn't matter if it's light or dark, or if the world is ending. The cricket will start singing at the same time every year, and they will stop at the same time every year. They start around summertime, and they stop right as on the first day of autumn. No matter what, you can trust the cricket to let you know when autumn is going to be here. So cricket embodies the virtue of timeliness. Second, cricket embodies the virtue of bravery. Why does it? Why does the cricket embody a virtue of bravery? When a cricket meets another cricket, it doesn't matter how big that other cricket is. This cricket is going to fight it. It's going to attack. It doesn't matter if the other cricket might be bigger, heavier, have louder voice. It doesn't matter. Uh, Two male cricket get together, they are going to fight. There's no stopping it. So cricket got to be one of the most violent, ferocious, and brave bugs in the entire bug world. So they embody the virtue of bravery. Third, cricket embodies the virtue of honor. Well, how does that work? Well, because a cricket will never surrender. When you watch people fight, when you watch dog fight, when you watch cock fight, most other kind of creatures, when they fight, they'll only go to a certain limit. Once they get hurt enough, they start to want to get away. They start to want to give up. They'll tap out. They'll run away. They'll refuse to fight anymore. Not cricket. A cricket will keep on fighting even though half of its legs are missing and its antennae bitten off and one of its eyes is gone, and its carapace is crushed. The cricket will keep on fighting until it is dead. So the cricket, for its ability to keep on fighting no matter what, embodies the spirit, the virtue of honor. The cricket also embodies the virtue of humility because a cricket is said to know shame. The cricket may be the only bug in the world that understands defeat. If two crickets are fighting and one cricket is clearly losing, but let's say you are the owner and you don't want to see your favorite pet get killed, so you reach in there and grab your cricket and take him out of the fight. Because don't forget, they are not going to quit. So you actually have to physically get in there and take them away. Otherwise, they'll fight until they're dead. Uh, it is said that when a cricket loses a fight, even if he survived the encounter, that because uh, some intervention from human, this cricket is useless from this point on. This cricket will never sing again. Once a cricket loses a fight, it is so ashamed of itself it will never make another sound for the rest of its life. So, for understanding defeat and shame, a cricket embodies the virtue of humility. Last but not least, the cricket knows its place in the great scheme of things. So, the cricket also embodies the virtue of uh, understanding. How so? Because it doesn't matter how the weather is. It doesn't matter if the weather is still warm. It doesn't matter if the cricket was just born yesterday. If today is the first day of autumn, stop singing. It will not continue. Doesn't matter what. It knows that it is time to stop and it will stop. It knows that it's going to be autumn. It is time to go away and it will go away. It understands its place in the world. It does not try to change its station in the world. It does not try to defy nature. So a cricket embodies the virtues of bravery, timeliness, honor, humility, and understanding. Some people, even today, are so crazy about pet cricket that this is a true story actually. There was this very famous movie actor that was contracted to go to northern China for a movie shoot. Now, because it's a very big project, so they told him that they'll have to stay in northern China for the next 3 years until the completion of the movie. And he signed the contract. Everything was in order. And the story goes that this actor was just going through some final checklist before boarding the plane when when he suddenly remembered his pet cricket. And so he called his manager. He said, "Hey, um, do they have cricket in northern China?" And his manager said, "No, man, northern China is way too cold. Cricket can never survive there." And right then and there, this actor said, "Call them out, cancel the contract. I'm not going." Millions and millions of dollars that he gained to lose, and he refused to go because his cricket couldn't go with him to northern China because they couldn't survive there. That's how passionate Chinese people are when it comes to cricket sometimes. I can almost understand that because when I was a teenager, I had a pet cricket. My mom brought it home. She found it on a golf course when she was playing golf, and she saw this huge cricket in the grass, and she put it in a jar and brought her home. And I kept her for a pet. She lived for about 3 or 4 months, I think, and uh, she was such a smart, uh, obedient pet that totally went beyond my expectation of what bugs or insects could do. I mean, when we keep dogs and cats, we understand that they are kind of like us. They understand pain and sadness and joy. So we expect loyalty and friendship from cats and dogs. But most of us don't really think of that when we look at something like a cricket because it's so alien. It's an insect. It's a bug. So we don't attribute any kind of emotion to it. Well, that cricket kind of made me reevaluate my whole thought process on that topic because I remember even to this day, the day she died, it was as if she knew her time was coming. So I remember me and my two brothers, we were all in the room, and the cricket uh, was looking really sick. She was very lethargic, so we kind of knew that she probably was going to die too. So I remember taking her out of her playpen. I actually made her a huge, I took a drawer from the kitchen uh, uh, drawers and took one of the drawers from the kitchen, filled it up with sand, and put a food item and water in there, and that was her home. I took her out of her home. She kind of laid, barely moving, in my palm for a little bit. I thought she was dead, and then, with a lot of difficulty, she struggled, flipped herself back upright, and she hopped off of my hand and very slowly get over to my younger brother and got onto his hand and sat with him for a few minutes. And then she left him, went over to my older brother, and she made the whole circle before coming back to me. And I put her back in her home. And about half an hour later, she was dead. It was like she knew to say goodbye. Imagine that, a cricket that knows to say goodbye before her passing. What a crazy idea that was. Anyway, that was a little bit of a solemn way to end the episode, but I hope that this episode has given you some new outlook on this amazing insect we call the cricket. And who knows, next time if you have problems sleeping, just get on your app on your phone or on YouTube or on your Amazon smart devices. I'm not going to say her name because that's going to trigger her. And just ask her for cricket sound, sleep relaxation sound. and hopefully that will help you like it helped the first emperor of the Tang Dynasty. If you enjoy what you get here on the daily video, then please subscribe to the Johnny Tiger Experience podcast. You can find it on any Amazon device, plus any podcast platform by searching for Johnny Tiger Experience. There you will get more Oriental goodies, stories, Mandarin lessons, martial art, fitness tips, and much, much more. Thank you again, and we'll be back again tomorrow for Toy Thursday. For now, 再见。